Hello and welcome back to Destiny Dare. Last time we talked about some of the challenges that you might face when pursuing your destiny. This week I'd like to speak with you about some of the people that you might encounter when trying to pursue your destiny. In Bruce Wilkinson's book, The Dream Giver, he talks about the concept of border bullies, people who oppose your dream instead of encouraging you. He lists off 4 very common border bullies that we might encounter. The alarmist, who says, "It's not safe." This bully is motivated by fear and tends to exaggerate the risks. The traditionalist says, "It's not the way we do it." This bully doesn't like change. He or she often romanticizes the past and is motivated by custom and routine. The defeatist says, "It's not possible." This bully sees problems everywhere and is certain that the dream won't and can't happen. The antagonist says, "I won't let you." This bully uses authority or intimidation to block your path. Antagonists might come against you because they fear they will lose money or control, or they may just not like you or what you're doing, and they have the power to stop you. What have you heard or said at the border of someone's big dream lately? See if you recognize any of these opening lines. I've given your plan a lot of thought, and I hate to say this, but are you sure you're experienced enough for that? That idea of yours is interesting, but where are you going to get the money and the people to make it happen? But we've never done it that way. Thankfully, not everyone we meet on the road to our destiny is going to be a border bully. Matter of fact, in this book, he calls the people who encourage us border buddies and border busters. He's really into the alliteration thing. I mean, I know it's kind of Dr. Seuss, but it does help it stick in your head, I guess. Whatever you want to call these people, they're the people who champion your dream. They're the people who are searching for their own dream and pursuing it. They're the kind of people that you want to be your best friend. In the following 2 clips from the movie Martian Child, both types of people are illustrated. See if you can figure out which is which.
David, and hello, Earth to David. A kid who sits in a box all day is a giant red flag, all right? It's like the equivalent of buying a used car and ignoring the oil spill in the driveway.
You know, for a non-writer, you're becoming the queen of the muscular analogy.
Okay. Listen, the thing about kids, and I wouldn't trade mine for the world, is that they keep coming at you. All right, they're like mosquitoes sucking the life out of you. They take away your life, your privacy, your identity.
You should work for Planned Parenthood.
You joke. You forget that whole shelf full of books you wrote, or your knowledge of California wines, or that you ever ran a marathon.
All right, here's the thing, Liz. I never ran a marathon. I don't want to run a marathon. I want to do something meaningful, you know? And I get all the arguments against it. I even get the one that says, I don't know if I want to bring another kid into this world. But how do you argue with the logic of loving one that's already here? So what do you think, honestly?
Are you kidding? I love the idea of you adopting a child. I think it's so beautiful for you to open up your heart like that.
Liz thinks I'm crazy, you know? I mean, what if she's right? You know, what if I'm not up to it?
Let me tell you something. My mother raised 5 kids, and never for 1 second did she question whether she was cut out to be a parent.
And she was great, right?
No, the worst. My shrink has a house in Laguna because of her. Just the fact that you're even asking yourself the question pretty much proves you're qualified. Most people spend more time worrying about how to raise tomatoes than they do their own kids. Can you even imagine how happy Mary would be about this?
Yeah, but that's not good enough reason to do it.
You've got a lot of love left in your heart.
In the Bible, we read about the Apostle Paul and how he spoke to his spiritual son, Timothy, who was just beginning his ministry, and said to him, "Let no one look down upon your youthfulness, but rather in speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity show yourself an example to all of those who believe." Timothy was young. Not only was he young in years, but he was young in his ministry. He just started out. People weren't necessarily listening to him. There were people who would have liked to just ignore him or look down on him because he was younger and because he was new at what he was doing. The same thing can happen to us when we're stepping out into our destiny for the first time. So were you paying attention? Did you hear what Paul said to Timothy? He didn't say, "So, if somebody gives you a hard time, then you can tell them off." No. He said, live an example and don't let anybody look down on you. Just keep living out your dream. Just keep living out your destiny and being who you are supposed to be. The clip that I'm about to share with you is from one of my all-time favorite movies. Believe it or not, I discovered this movie probably when I was in either my early teens or maybe even my late preteens. I was young. And it's not the sort of movie that you would think a kid would like. But it inspired me, and hopefully it'll inspire you.
Is that her? Is that the maid? You damn nobles are all alike. You never bring me in until it's too late. You ought to double my fee.
You'll have a fine chance for riches, considering your arch enemy has taken Les Tourelles. Sir William Glasdale. Capture him and he'll fetch a great price.
If I meet up with Glasdale, I promise you, you can sell him off in pieces. Well, she certainly looks the part, if there is a she under all that.
And what part are you, sir?
This is Captain Lahir. I've engaged him to lead the mission to Orleans.
To lead?
Don't worry, you'll be out front for all the cheering. But around here, grown men come in.
Now, if you'll excuse us, my dear, the captain and I have work to do. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Leaving? You won't be with us in Orleans?
Him? He's a military advisor. He sends other people off to die.
Shouldn't you be in bed, child?
No, I must know it's being planned for myself and the men who've come to
You may
fight.
stay, or you may go, but be quiet.
The captain needs to concentrate, my dear.
We know the English have taken Les Tourelles. They've practically closed the circle around Orleans, but this news is 3 days late. It takes about 4 days to get there. We have 12,000 men. Half of them useless. That leaves us with a
Pardon me?
force.
I've made this journey. We can't get there in 4 days with all the livestock for the troops and the people of Orleans.
We only take enough livestock to feed the troops. Our objective is to raise the siege, not to feed the masses.
Well, how long will it take? A week to travel, another to prepare, and then how long to win? If we don't feed them, they will die.
My dear, you are neither a commander nor a soldier. All you have to do is play the maid and try not to get yourself killed.
I'm not pretending, sir. I'm here by the will of God, with the authority of the king and the blessings of the church. And I say that the people of Orleans must be fed.
So remember, don't let anybody look down on you or discourage you from your dream. Surround yourself with people that will encourage you and be a champion of your dream. Be that same encourager for other people as they pursue their destiny. Thank you again for joining me for this episode of Destiny Dare. I hope this episode has given you some ideas for dealing with people in your own life. Keep pursuing your dreams. See you next time.